Brian used to be that guy, the one who yelled to feel heard, who slammed doors to feel powerful, who confused control with chaos. But behind the noise, he was drowning. Until one night, mid-argument, he walked out into the cold, sat on the curb, and realized real power doesn't scream. It leads in silence. Every man wants to feel powerful, not loud, not dominant, but genuinely powerful. The kind of power that radiates from presence, that draws attention without seeking it, that earns respect before a word is spoken. That power is built, not bought. And Stoicism is the blueprint. In today's culture, alpha has been twisted. It's become a parody. All bark, no spine. The loudest guy in the room is often the weakest. The most controlling man is usually the most insecure. But the real alpha? He's calm, grounded, present. And the foundation of that presence is internal control. That's where Stoicism comes in. Stoicism isn't about pretending nothing affects you. It's about mastering what does. It's not about suppressing emotion. It's about leading it. A Stoic man doesn't deny his anger, fear, or sadness. He observes it. He studies it. He chooses his response. That is strength. That is command. This kind of power starts small, in moments where most men lose their center. When she cancels the date last minute, when your friend disrespects your time, when your coworker takes credit for your work. Most men explode, retreat, or over-explain. The Stoic breathes, observes, waits, and chooses. Alpha energy isn't about what you do when all is calm. It's about what you choose when everything's on fire. When the world is watching your next move. When emotions scream for release. When your ego wants revenge. The alpha rooted in Stoicism doesn't react. He leads. He leads through example, through action, through principle. He lives by a code that doesn't change with mood or opinion. He sets the tone, not because he's the loudest, but because he's the most grounded. So how do you build this energy? You begin with the morning. The first 10 minutes, no distractions, no stimulation, just breathe. Stillness, intention. You sit and remind yourself, you are the thermostat, not the thermometer. You set the tone. The world doesn't dictate your energy. You do. Then you train. Not for ego, not for vanity, but for clarity. The pain in your legs teaches you to lead discomfort. The sweat on your back teaches you focus. Your body becomes your reminder. That control is earned, not gifted. Then you write, not for followers, for yourself. Every day. What did I do well yesterday? What weakness showed up? What will I do better today? You reflect, you recalibrate, you reset, then you act, you lead, you build, you keep promises to yourself. You show up on time, you train when you don't feel like it. You eat like you respect your future. You speak like your words shape your reality. Because they do. Alpha energy is not dominance. It is direction. You don't shout to be heard. You move with intent. People feel it. And that presence says more than volume ever could. Women feel it. Not because you withhold affection, but because you don't withhold self-respect. You can love deeply, but never at the cost of your values. You can lead emotionally, but never from emotional chaos. Alpha energy doesn't mean being emotionless. It means emotions serve you, not enslave you. You are allowed to feel. You're not allowed to fold. You can grieve, but you still train. You can be heartbroken, but you still show up. You can be tired, but you still keep your word. In relationships, this presence sets the tone. You don't beg. You don't chase. You don't control. You lead. With clarity, with presence, with patience. You give your best, and you walk if your best is not honored. At work, you don't compete for spotlight. You build it with consistency. You aren't intimidated by louder voices. You anchor yourself in delivery. You don't gossip. You don't complain. You don't point fingers. You point direction. You lead because you are aligned. You are aligned because you practice. You practice because you are committed to a life that reflects your values, not your moods. And yes, you'll be tested. The world will try to pull you off center, but you will return to your breath, to your posture, to your silence. That is your edge. Alpha energy built on Stoicism is untouchable because it's not built on attention. It's built on self-trust. It's not reactive. It's responsive. It's not fake confidence. It's real clarity. You don't need tricks. You need standards. You don't need attention. You need purpose. You don't need to dominate. You need to direct. And when the world gets loud, you return to yourself, to your core, to your compass. That's what makes you unshakable. That's what makes you rare. Now imagine living like this for a year. Not one day, not 1 week. A full year of discipline, of clarity, of consistent leadership over yourself. How would that compound? How would your posture change? How would your voice shift? How would your presence evolve? This is not a game. This is a code. And it's available to anyone willing to train. Not perfect, just precise. Not rigid, just rooted. Not better than others, just better than who you used to be. If you're still here, you're not average. Average men scroll, number distracted. But you? You're here, so prove it. Comment, I lead with silence. And let's build this movement together. This is Stoic Reign. If you're ready to stop performing and start leading, start here. Start now. The work isn't easy, but it's worth it. Because at the end of the day, when the noise fades, all that's left is the man you've trained to be. Be the one who doesn't flinch. Be the one who doesn't fold. Be the one who leads. Silently, strongly, relentlessly. That's alpha energy. That's stoicism. That's you, fully owned. Subscribe.